Right, Alexandra, this is your opportunity just to kick James and make sure he's listening, please. So the Shed of Dreams has taken on a new appearance since James left. How many people does it take to fill a sprayer up with water? Right, morning ladies and gentlemen. We are today, 27th of May. James is on holiday, or at least he says he's on holiday. He's gone to Turkey, so we're not sure whether he's coming home with a hair transplant, breast reduction or a set of new teeth, but there's plenty of room for improvement there, so we look forward to seeing him on Friday. It's currently raining quite hard, which is very exciting. We've suffered quite a bad drought up until this weekend, so hopefully that'll bring things round a bit. And I've taken the opportunity today to come and join one of my agri colleagues on one of his farms, and farm manager here, Tim Hall, Jamie Little. They have had a problem with blackgrass, as have most of the universe, in the last few years, and they've done quite an interesting trial. So we're going to go and have a look around that today. And they've experimented with drilling timings, different drills, different seed rates, and put it all together in one field. So we're going to go and have a look at that. Tim, if you wouldn't mind just explaining a bit about the history of the farm, your traditional drilling methods, that sort of thing.
Certainly. I've been here about 3 years or so. So we're in just north of Oxford here, near Bicester. We're on Cotswold Brash, so it's quite stony soil, it's quite light. It's not men's land at all, it's boys' land, 6-boy like me. The soil is not very deep, it can drought out a bit, but it can grow blackgrass quite well. So traditionally, it's all arable really. We grow wheat. There's normally 2 cereals and a break crop, which vary. Oilseed rape we've gone off a fair bit recently with flea beetle. We've got a small area that's manageable. Pulses, spring oats now as our break crops, but mostly rotation will be a winter wheat, a spring barley, and then a break crop. Bit of winter barley ahead of all the oilseed rape.
This is the Missouri drill we're talking about. This is what you've been using, the system you've been using in the last few years, Tim. Just explain how it works. So you're going directly into stubble with this, aren't you?
Yes.
So you're combining the previous crop, not doing any cultivation at all, and then drilling into the stubble with this. So if you could just explain how the drill works.
Certainly. Generally this works better. It's quite a big, heavy machine. It works better on undisturbed land simply because it's 9 tonnes empty. Those tyres will sink into the ground. Occasionally we'll use the carry wheels, just scratch, try and get a bit of a stale seedbed. If a couple of dry summers haven't helped, we've scratched the soil, worn out a load of steel, and not really got the flush because we can get the rain to go with it. Basic principles of this drill, not just the Missouri, there's Clayton's, other strip tills are available. The idea is this leading leg will go in at 3 to 4 inches deep or so. Really it's to create a slot, hopefully not a smeared slot. A little bit of lift on the wings as well. So the idea is to gently effectively create the root zone for the plant. And then following this, you then put your seed down here into the trench, left by the opening leg. Simple as that. You can put fertiliser down the front leg as well. So for crops like oilseed rape, we'll put fertiliser down the spout, so a little bit deeper than the seed to get it up and away. That's the basics of the strip till drill. And then we have a harrow on the back as well, which will help put the soil back over the seed, because we have an Avadex. We can apply Avadex on the back, which is a pre-emergence herbicide. So ideally that wants to be away from the seed if we can. That is a very quick explanation of how a strip till drill works. But it moves, sorry, you can edit that one out, but it does move soil at the point of sowing. The major disadvantage of that is when you have dormant blackgrass seed in the soil, it then encourages it to chit and grow in the crop where you're reliant on more expensive and less reliable selective herbicides to kill it.
So Tim, this is where this trial comes in, because you've been on the farm 2 years?
3 years now.
3 years, right. I've had the benefit of having a chat with you 20 minutes ago, so I know you have felt that this drill, because we've had several dry summers, you're drilling relatively early because you're direct drilling. and this sort of thing doesn't work in wet seed beds. And so because you've had dry summers, early drilling, you're not getting the blackgrass to chip beforehand. You're not having the benefit of a stale seed bed. Then you come in with something like this, and as you say, there's multiple different colours and shapes of this sort of system, and you're bubbling it all up, and the blackgrass then you're encouraging the blackgrass to chip, and it's coming with the crop. So that's where Jamie comes in, because you sort of, between you seen this happening, so you've now set this trial up to experiment with all sorts of different systems. Yeah,
very, very much so. I suppose, yeah, we've set this trial up looking at, you know, the different drilling timings. Most of you are probably aware the last two winters have been horrendously bad. I think last year we were probably quite lucky in that it rained so early on in September that we couldn't go drilling too much land before November, actually, on a whole field basis. But really, we've set this trial up to look at different drills, different cultivation techniques, different seed rates, and different drilling timings, and try and marry the whole system up and see if there is a solution. Most of us don't want to be drilling as late on in November as what we do. Drill purely from the fact that your crop doesn't get up and doesn't get away as quick. It's not as competitive a crop, and really we've got to try and combat blackgrass a bit more strategically, I think, and hence the reason why we're looking at the trial to see if there's solutions out there.
Tom, is that camera easy to use?
What?
Well, could an imbecile like myself use it? Just let me have a look. How do you turn it round?
Is that recording now?
Oh, spot the non-farmer. I mean, what a prat. He spent all morning telling me what the forecast was, turned up in shorts and white trainers, and borrowed my coat.
It's a bit big. But he's brought some rain with him, that's the main thing.
Yes,
well done,
quite right.
Thank you.
Right, Jamie, just this field, just to recap, the first wheat after rape.
Yep.
So we've got various different types of cultivations. When were the cultivations?
So last year, August Bank Holiday weekend, we carried out all the different cultivation practices that we were trying out. We've looked at everything from top downing over in the far corner over there to carriered, to low disturbance subsoiler, direct drilling where we've done no cultivation techniques whatsoever, and it's just literally the drills have drilled on their allotted drilling date without any cultivations. And then we've looked at where we press the reset button, and over here you can see we've done the ploughing, following ploughing and power harrowing and ploughing and pressing. And really the hypothesis between, is there any difference between ploughing and pressing and ploughing and power harrowing, is one of my questions. Is if we use a power harrow, do we actually end up restarring back up some of that blackgrass that we've buried? Effectively, we've looked at it, and all of our cultivations were done on the around August Bank Holiday weekend, and then we've left everything until we've done our 3 different drilling timings. And the three different drilling timings were the 15th of September, the 15th of November, because as you all remember, last year it basically never stopped raining, pretty much like what it's doing here now. And then our last drilling timing, I said we've got to get this in, and we drilled on the 22nd of November in the snow. So yeah, a range of drilling timings and a range of different seed rates. Okay,
so we've spent an hour walking around this trial. Not easy to put it onto camera. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pick out the key points. And one of the first things that caught my eye is that this section here we've got is all drilled on the 15th of September.
Yep.
Tom, this way please. To the left of this tram line was ploughed. To the right of this tram line, actually that was direct drilled, wasn't it?
That was direct drilled.
Direct drilled to the right of the tram line, and then the further we go over there was more cultivation, which we'll see in a minute. But it just goes to show Tim, this has not been ploughed for many a year, 10 years probably, right?
Yes, 6 to
Right.
10 years.
So this is a reset. So it just goes to show what a difference you can make with a plough, which not everybody wants to hear, but it is a hell of a way of getting out of trouble when you're getting into some serious blackgrass problems.
It's a massive help. It really is. If you look at the traffic light system of sort of when you should go drilling, depending on the level of blackgrass you have, really, I would imagine most people will be anticipating that they're going to want to go drilling earlier this year. You look at the weather conditions we had last year. I wouldn't be surprised if probably James from PX Farms was the first one to go drilling, probably about August time. I'm sure Michael will probably lie down in front of him, but it really, if you want to go drilling early, we can't stop you as agronomists, but what we can do is give you cultivation techniques that will hopefully alleviate your blackgrass pressure by that cultivation technique that you chose to do.
So of course ploughing is a very slow technique, and on a big farm, we're not suggesting that everybody goes and ploughs everything. We're talking about a reset. We're choosing the worst bits and getting that seed really well buried and keeping it down there.
Exactly that. I always look maybe slightly differently from other people. I look at ploughing as it's an investment in the next 5 years worth of cropping plan. If you start to put that ploughing cost over year one, it does look very expensive. If you look at it over a 5-year investment, and if you plough it correctly, like probably what your father or your father's father taught you how to plough, slow and steady and bury everything, it's a 5-year investment in your farm, and hopefully then you can look at improving it from there and have a less of a return on blackgrass.
This block here, direct drilled 15th of September, right? The strip you see down there is untreated with chemical. So all this was treated with Luxon Pontos, right? Which is about as good as you get residual herbicide wise for blackgrass. So direct drilled, treated with Luxon and Pontos, stripped down the middle, untreated. It's only 1 metre wide, but you can see how much benefit you did actually get from that chemical. Turn around here, this block is ploughed. This block was ploughed, drilled on the same day. There's your untreated strip, but you just see how much of a benefit you got from the ploughing alone. So there's so much less blackgrass come in the crop just from having ploughed it. There's still a bit, you can still see a line down there, but a lot less. Right, Jamie, just put some figures on that, please. So the ploughing.
Yeah, well, where we ploughed, we've reduced the blackgrass numbers in the treated plots down to less than 7 ears per metre squared, and where the untreated area is, you're looking at a maximum of 48 blackgrass ears per metre squared. When you look at the direct drilling plots, you go from sort of 500-600 blackgrass plants per metre squared in the treated to 1,900 blackgrass ears in the untreated. So really, when you look at it, we have managed to reduce our blackgrass level by well over 90% from using the plough in August time and pressing the reset button.
Okay, so ploughed, non-ploughed, direct drilled with your Missouri drill, right?
Yes.
So if you just pan out here, Tom, you'll see this is the farm. This is sort of the farm standard. It's been Missouri drilled into stubble on the 15th of September. You can sort of see why Tim and Jamie are looking to try and improve things. Without wanting to be rude to you, Tim, I don't mean that in a rude manner. But obviously there is a level of blackgrass there that we're not happy with. Right, Alexandra, this is your opportunity just to kick James and make sure he's listening, please. We've got to the bit where we're comparing drilling dates. So if you just come here, Tom, and I want you to pan out onto this block here. This is to the right of that line is what was that?
It's drilled on the 15th of September at 375 seeds a metre squared.
With what drill?
This is the Vadestad Rapid
Right.
drill in September.
Okay, so basically drilled September, drilled 15th of November. Hopefully this comes out well on the camera. So the reason I'm so excited for James to see this is because he will not hold up with the drilling.
There is a logistical argument. Can you sow your entire farm, particularly someone on the scale of James, and even to a smaller farmer like us? Can you sow the entire farm in November, December? No,
Quite
not
right.
realistically. You just don't get a crop if the winter comes in and shuts us down early.
Whose side are you on? No, you're quite right. You're quite right. There is a story here because you know, James has got. I mean, it's all relative because James has got bigger kit. But you know, we all have to get the crops in, and there's one thing worse than having a wheat with a bit of blackgrass in it, and that's not having a crop at all. And I say that in jest, but last year, you know, it rained on the 12th of October, it didn't stop, and it didn't stop until May, and there was
May? It didn't stop in November, you mean?
well, you're probably right. Yeah, but literally, there was that risk of not getting drilled until not getting drilled at all.
Yeah,
You know, so it's all very well. You cannot say, you know, we're not going to drill into the 15th of November. However, you know, this does tell a story. It does help. It does help if you can, on your worst blackgrass fields, if you can just hold off as long as you dare. And obviously keep an eye on the forecast, because that date actually could come forward a bit if it looked like being wet. The key is having, well, apart from the fact you want to get the blackgrass germinated and spray it with Roundup first, the other thing is having enough moisture for the residual herbicides to work.
And you've hit a very valid point. You know, our reliance in farming on glyphosate is absolutely massive. You know, the September drilling timing only had one pre-drilling glyphosate, whereas if you look at the second and the third drilling plots, they've had 2 doses of glyphosate as a minimum. The difference in the sort of 2-month window between our first drilling timing and our second drilling timing, and also don't forget we have increased the seed rate. We've gone from 375 seeds a metre squared to 450 seeds a metre squared drilled on the 15th of November. I would say that it, you know, between seed rate and drilling date, and also, you know, everything that we've tried to put into this trial between our cultivation techniques, all has a very big part to play. So yeah,
Yeah. Just stand to one side, gentlemen. Tom, so here, all of a sudden, we're in the 15th of November drilling. To the left of the tram line ploughed, to the right of the tram line
direct drilled.
All of a sudden, and the block right in front of us, all drilled on the 15th of November. All of a sudden, there are far less differences between the drilling types because of the drilling date. You know, we've got rid of a lot of the blackgrass, so all of a sudden it's made very little difference what drill we used or what practice we used, because you know, the blackgrass has been sprayed off with Roundup. So it is a big entangled web, isn't there? It's not just a one answer fits all.
No, and it's very much a case as well, exactly like what we're trying to do on this farm, and especially what Tim has alluded to is sustainability. We can't keep sustaining doing what we're doing and creating the level of blackgrass that we can have. We've got to look at different techniques and different approaches to try and reduce our reliance on chemicals, reduce our costs that we're spending. You know, you look at a pre and a peri-M chemistry program, and even this trial site has all had a follow-up in February as well. The cost of that is astronomical, especially as well where wheat prices are today, and you know, it costs a lot to grow these crops, and we really have to be making sure that we get our best bang for buck out of it, and spending our money in the right places is very much key for me here, and ensuring we have a good level of control.
So I get a lot of criticism for banging on about blackgrass, constantly banging on about it. It is the bane of my life. It is the biggest problem I have to deal with. Just for those that aren't are sort of less familiar with farming, blackgrass here, that's the little beast we're talking about. And for every, and sort of our research over the past would show that for every 100 ears per metre squared of blackgrass we get in a crop, we expect a reduction in yield of around a tonne to the hectare. So what's your, how many ears per metre squared in some of these?
In some of these plots we had 1,982 blackgrass ears per metre squared.
That's worst case scenario.
That's worst case scenario, and where, if you look at where we are on an average across the trial in September, you're probably looking at about 600 blackgrass ears per metre squared.
Okay, so we're looking at a dramatic yield reduction.
Yes, you are,
you
yeah.
can see why that's, you know, that is why I think about probably nothing else for part of the year.
And I'm also glad to see that it's not just myself that talks about blackgrass left, right and centre. My wife thinks I'm deluded at times, the fact that I talk about blackgrass non-stop. Your wife must think the exact same, Michael. It's blackgrass for dinner, blackgrass for breakfast, I think.
If only we could find a market for blackgrass.
Yeah, quite.
If I had found a market for rain a few months ago, I think we also would have been definitely billionaires, but thankfully it's come here today.
Yeah, long may it continue. Gentlemen, it's really difficult to get across on a 5-minute video just quite how much work you put into that trial and quite how much information we can get out of it. We tried in a matter of 5 minutes just to pull out some of the key stories, which everybody knows. We all know, we all know what we really should be doing and what we can't do in a lot of cases. But it is really good to see it, in the flesh. So thank you very much indeed. Hopefully we'll put something together that shows a little bit of the work you've done. But thank you very much for having us, and we'll leave you to get on with your day's work. So, we've returned from our little visit to the trial site this morning, and Tom got absolutely drowned, and so did most of his equipment. So picture quality, sound quality might not be quite so great as it was, if it was to start with. We got back and the yard is absolutely crawling with people from Horsch and their equipment. So Johannes?
Yeah, Johannes.
Pronounce
right.
it right?
Johannes,
yeah, okay.
good.
So Horsch are doing a big event at Scotland Farm over a month. So they're bringing people from all around the world.
All around the world, yes, pretty much everywhere. All the markets.
To demonstrate your machinery, basically. Is that right?
Actually, yeah. Also, mostly going to crop topics, I'd say.
Yeah.
And mostly farming, I guess. Doing the network, getting together, kind of.
Yeah.
Some parts will be machines, but
so you bring farmers over here. You're showing, you're demonstrating your products. You're showing various different farms and different methods of doing things and that sort of thing. So I've just brought Johannes here. He's going to bring the farmers to this particular field because it was drilled with your
Avatar. This
Avatar,
one was
that's the word.
12.25, so 12 meter, 25 centimeter spacing.
Yeah.
And we are luckily that we also have the opportunity to go to the other fields where like 4 drills went. And
but this field is a rarity on this farm because we actually got someone else in to help us out.
Oh, okay.
A friend of mine, in fact.
Oh.
And he came with his Avatar and drilled this. So Johannes wants to demonstrate the differences between his drills, and he's digging about in mud at the moment.
Luckily it rains.
Yeah, luckily it's rain. Don't be careful what you wish for.
Oh,
We're
actually, yes, for the next 4 weeks,
We're
right?
desperate for rain. I suspect it won't help you out for the next 4 weeks, but hey-ho. So we're just out and about in the wheat. This particular field of wheat, as I say, was drilled with an Avatar at the end of October. It's traditionally a really bad field for blackgrass. It's as clean as a whistle, which I'm delighted about. Not least because as I keep saying, we killed all the blackgrass, or a lot of the blackgrass, with glyphosate before we even drilled it, and after the main flush of blackgrass. So yeah, we've had a good. We're very pleased with this. And we'll go off and see another field.
So we're currently down here in Trinity, and this is one of the fields we found really difficult whilst we were drilling, that we had to use a multiple of different drills down here. We've currently got Horsch down here as they're here for the month, just going through the field because they're going to be bringing people to the field to have a look at how the different drills have varied across the field and how they've performed throughout the year. So currently we're standing where the Sprinter was, and then we've got Certo and then after that we've got our Grange toolbar, and then we go on to our 2 finers. So yeah, it's a big variation across the field, great use of all the drills, and hopefully we can see the difference and see how they compare to the year. So as everybody will be completely astounded, you can currently see cousin Michael standing in the crop, not seen before, always either seen on a set of 2 wheels or 4 wheels. So he'll definitely be getting his steps in today, so we'll see how the weighing goes at the open day.
Finally, Tom, we've got moisture down to, moisture down to root level. We've had, I don't know what we've had, 10 mils today perhaps. Finally, it's done some good. It's not just moisture, it's washed some nutrient down as well, hopefully. So, yeah, big relief from the weather perspective, even if you are in white trainers in a muddy field. So every which way you turn in this yard, there's something new that you come across, painted red. There's more red, Horsch red, than there is PX green at the moment. This is a 36 metre boom fertiliser spreader, so it spreads granular fertiliser down a boom. It's a twin axle, 4-wheel steer. Quite an impressive bit of kit. It'd be quite nice to see that in action. I think they are actually going to demonstrate it later in the week. Whether it's still here for the PX Open Day or not, I don't know, but quite an impressive piece of kit. So it's 4-wheel steer, obviously, so it tracks the tractor on the tram line. So as you go around the end, it follows the tractor. But actually, it's proving quite useful in a tight spot to get around the yard. So there's any manner of different types of machinery and various gadgets turning up. This presumably is the man carrier to take people around the farm, show them around the machinery demonstrations and that sort of thing. We've got a cultivator here, which I've never even heard of, a Fortis. It's probably very common, but I haven't come across them. So it's a heavy duty timed machine. So the Shed of Dreams has taken on a new appearance since James left. Horsch have taken over, well, certainly one end, well, no, pretty much all of it. But anyway, they've taken over one end of it for a sort of hospitality unit. They've got a dummy cab there for people to look in by the looks of it, and a stage. And then they've got they're just backing all the kit in here out of the way for the time being. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different drills to look at, all of varying different setups. How many people does it take to fill a sprayer up with water? So these sprayers are actually going to be demonstrated in the field on their demonstration days. So they'll fill them up with water, and they'll spray nothing but water, but they'll spray a crop of wheat to demonstrate the boom stability. Kieran, it's rained.
Yeah, it's not very good, is it?
Let's put the mockers on your spraying.
Well, I've only just dried up.
You only just dried up. Yeah, so actually it's doing more good than your spray would anyway, but
yeah, it would.
Just hope it gives us a little bit of a window to finish the T2s.
Friday, Saturday, that should do.
Will that do? Will you get them done?
Yeah, Friday I should be done in Bedford, so that'll be good.
And we'll send 2 to Lincolnshire to get that done in a day, hopefully. And we'll be back on target again. Makes me slightly nervous, although we've had such an easy time of it spraying up until now.
Yeah.
It's just a critical time to get the T2s
Well, I
on.
could go from Bedford to Links.
Well, I'm hoping you won't need to. I'm hoping Sandy will go up there and help Chris out, and they'll have it knocked out in a day.
He should be done here on Friday, shouldn't he?
Who?
Sandy.
No, he's going to leave this.
Is he?
Mustard will wait a week.
Oh, will it?
Yeah. To T2s on wheat, critical. Right, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. A bit more of a whistle-to-stop tour today. We've been quite well consumed by Horsch and setting up for their month of demonstration days. So they've used up most of our time today. We've enjoyed a very wet day, which has pleased us greatly. It's done a lot of good. Water's now got down to root level, which until now hadn't really happened. We just kept having a few spits and spots and showers, and then it'd all be evaporated before we got any more. We are now doing some good. Tom's given me a few bullet points here to talk about, all of which are a load of old nonsense. So all I'm going to say is the questions and things that need answering will be done by James when he returns on Sunday. The open day, there are still some tickets available for the afternoon slot, so Where do you get those from, Tom? The link in the video. It's all right, you can talk. Link in the video. But yeah, get those bought up if you'd like to come. Thank you very much indeed for watching and subscribing, and we'll see you again later in the week.